Slow it
2x
down,
speed,
man.
2x speed.
लोग स्लो करके सुनेंगे फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन पॉडकास्ट
उनका बहुत ज्यादा
बोल
point
क्या
climax
रहे हैं
में
लोग?
देखते हैं और- हाँ, तो तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि मेरे सबसे क्या है?
Okay, okay.
Hi guys, this is the Popcorn Hour. I'm Shantanu.
I'm Akanksha.
And we love films and we watch a lot of films, as do all our friends. And one of our friends, who is also a comedian and actor and brother and quizzer and just quiz master and just overall lord and master type person, is here to discuss movies with us. Thank you, brother.
थैंक यू फॉर हैविंग मी मतलब यू एंड मूवीज तो आई कैन गो केक खाने के लिए हम कहीं भी आ सकते हैं टाइप इट्स लाइक दैट
But we are here and we like to talk about films, and that's essentially what we're going to do today. And we decided that with you, we will today be discussing
Careers in Bollywood.
careers in Bollywood.
careers in Bollywood
What we
Okay.
mean by that is
like
how did
careers
movies-
portrayed in Bollywood like that
Yes. Spoken like a true quizzing master.
yes
Not what we are trying to make
Right.
or what we
Like-
are building currently.
like we are not discussing Deepak Tijori's arc
Not
in
at all.
Bollywood
No,
like
no.
that
That
although
would
we
start
can
and end. That would
Next
start
week,
and end.
if you are free next week, same time.
would love to discuss Kamal Sadhana's debut in Bekhudi, but would love to discuss career in Bollywood
Career
also at
Bollywood.
some point.
Sure.
Like
So
we,
I
there are
think-
so many people that I know Shantanu is fascinated with. Like to tell our audience, you might think when Akanksha said that we discuss Bollywood, you are thinking हम बैठ के बात करते होंगे कि you know पठान, जवान, all the mainstream. No. With Shantanu, you talk about very deep cut Bollywood. Yeah, you talk about the rise and growth of Mukul Dev,
Ken
Rahul
Ghosh.
Dev,
Ken Ghosh as a director.
Yeah,
Emma.
John Matthew Mathan's career
Listen,
after
John Matthew
Sarfarosh.
Mathan's
See?
career after Sarfarosh is where things got interesting.
See?
Shikhar.
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 What a
We
great
talk about
movie.
Shikhar.
What a great movie.
Ajay and Shahid, you would never imagine them together.
Bipasha
Absolutely.
Amrita Rao.
Nibasha Amrita Rao.
Who would have thought?
Much
So we'll
like-
do that.
We
at
will
some
get there
point.
at some
Let's
point.
stick to the.
Yes.
Let's
Today,
stick to the.
today we are here to discuss careers in Bollywood from Delulu to aspirational. Like, let's talk about like advertising, for instance. When you show a person to be an ad man in Bollywood, there is a certain way you look at. Like, there's a certain way the industry looks at ad men, right? So. I don't know, like off the top of my head, BV number 1, if you have seen. BV number 1, if I'm not mistaken. Salman is an ad man,
He
right?
runs some kind of a media company. We don't really know what he does.
It's
But
an
he's
ad
surrounded by
agency.
models.
It's
We know
हाँ,
that.
right.
We know he's surrounded by models.
हाँ, some ad agents. correct.
Exactly.
It's an ad agency, but ad agency in that era, if you look at Aditya Pancholi in Yes Boss,
Oof.
Again surrounded by models.
surrounded by models, and to say a Salman in BV number 1, they are promiscuous ad men, right? That may be a fair insight. We don't. It's probably true, but also that the product never mattered.
Yeah.
It's a ये मेरी ugly model होगी.
बस.
हाँ.
Correct. There are a lot of these Abbas Bastan films. I feel like there is a scene where somebody is just spotted as a model. Like you know, I'm getting the vibe. Like you're on a vacation in say South
It
Africa
does.
or
I'm
some
getting the
beach,
image of
and
her.
suddenly somebody is like, "तू मेरी next model है."
तू मेरे next campaign की lead होगी.
बस, हो गया.
What is the brand we don't know.
Never.
Because Yes Boss में Aditya Pancholi is doing the way he procures women, if that's what we can say, is he gets women. He hires a model,
Yeah.
Juhi in this case, and वो bikini photo shoot है. Johnny Lever plays a guy called Mad or something. Mad ad director.
Oh.
Mad. और
Doesn't get better than
वो
that.
जूही को बोलता है बिकिनी पहनो एंड बिकिनी का शूट है एंड शी डज अ मैं बिकिनी नहीं पहनूंगी ऑब्वियसली एंड ही इज लाइक नो तुम्हें पहनना पड़ेगा क्लोथिंग कंपनी है तुम्हें बिकिनी पहना बिकिनी का ad है कम ऑन एंड आदित्य पंचोली the ad is happening in like LTG auditorium कमानी के स्टेज पे ad shoot हो रहा है Spot comes on the stairs Aditya Pancholi comes walking in and says इसने बोला ना ये नहीं पहनेगी तो ये नहीं पहनेगी he's like but sir ad he's like brand बदल सकता है but ये लड़की नहीं बदलेगी
और
What
उसको
an
प्यार हो जाता है।
entrepreneurial lesson here. That, you know,
Yeah.
your models are more important than the brand.
It is, yeah, it is.
But sorry, before we deviate, there are two really good ad films that I like, ad characters I thought of out of nowhere. One was Jhankar Beats, which I think had very good, like, sort of like, at least they were showing like coming out with jingles, ads.
Rahul
etc.
Bose.
Rahul
I think
Bose.
one-liners.
One-liner,
Yeah.
ये condom का ad बना रहे हैं. That was
Correct,
revolutionary.
मुझे
So
ये
good.
पसंद है.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
that's
Right?
the
That's a
the
great
bad
one.
pitch they do.
Yeah.
They do a
That's
bad
a
pitch.
great
It's like,
one.
हाँ मुझे
Yeah,
ये
yeah, yeah.
पसंद है.
And the three protagonists are catering to their boss's stupidity. Like they are making it's like meta. They're like ये क्या बोल रहे कॉन्डम के बारे में बनाना है मैं सबसे चूतिया लाइन लिख के.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that the other ad agency guy, if you remember, was Arshad Warsi in वैसा भी होता है Part 2. Do you guys remember?
Yeah. I remember. The Allah के बंदे movie.
हाँ,
Allah के
Arshad
बंदे.
Warsi, that is, I get goosebumps if you can zoom in, because he was a copywriter and very well portrayed. Like very like he's struggling with like क्या brand ये होना चाहिए वो होना चाहिए. And I was fascinated with brands growing up. Like I wanted to do MBA, so I become an ad man. Like my idols during my MBA days were like Piyush Pandey of the world, and you know,
Not
like,
his brother.
yes,
प्रसून पांडे नहीं मार. पीयूष पांडे मार.
like that. So I was very enamored with Arshad Warsi in Vasabi, which is again a very good movie. I'm recommending to your audience in case you guys are looking for underrated movie. Vasabi होता है Part 2, great.
Part 1 मत देखना because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's also one more called Inkar. Have you all seen Inkar? It has Arjun Rampal and Chitrang.
That's like the harassment film.
But
right?
it's still like within the world of an ad agency.
But this is
Arjun
pre-Me Too.
Rampal. This is pre-Me Too. Also, they end up together. So it's harassment but love. It's a fucked up dynamic.
Oh, it's like a modern day rapist से शादी करा दो type
Like that.
situation. That was a big theme in cinema earlier, right? You marry the perpetrator
Yeah,
of
like
your sex
Mehendi Tere
crime.
Naam Ki is one of those films.
Mehendi.
Mehendi.
Just Mehendi with Amjad Khan's son.
Correct.
And Rani
correct.
Mukherjee, right?
Yes,
That is
yes,
Mehendi.
yes.
Young Rani.
Young Rani.
Yes.
Young Rani.
Raja की आएगी बारात and Mehendi, I think you.
Came together, they could
Came
also be the
together,
same film.
One of them has the guy, the villain guy
Yeah.
who looks like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
hero,
yeah.
and the other has the Ajit Agarkar looking fellow.
Yes.
Huh? Like a wiry fellow. Yeah? I thought he was Amjad's son.
हाँ, there is Amjad son in one of the two, no?
Raja,
Raja
it's
की
the
आएगी
Raja
बारात.
And he
Ki
showed
Aagi
up
Barat.
in Scam many years later.
Exactly.
Same,
And he was a
same.
good actor in Scammer.
He was
In
good.
Raja, I would not think so, but by Scam, he had developed that. But
So
you,
what other careers?
yeah.
एक तो ad हो गया.
I think there
और
are some, like for example, when I was 16 years old, Wake Up Said had released. And I was like, photographer बनना easy लग रहा है और मजा लग रहा है. Like it seems like something that's very doable. And you don't really need to know much to be a photographer.
If your dad's rich.
Correct. I didn't take that into consideration.
Also
So
Wake
I
Up
just
Said-
bought a camera.
Journalism.
Journalism.
They
Sorry,
did
Wake-
ruin an entire generation of women.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
terrible
yeah.
to say. But so many girls came to do the Xavier's 9-month program
Yes,
thinking
yes,
that
yes,
they'll
yes.
have Rahul Khanna as a boss and Ranbir Kapoor as a lover. But like नहीं है ना तुम फिर CLA में internship कर रही हो उसके बाद कोई स्कॉच नहीं पिला रहा कोई सिगार नहीं पिला रहा
और वो
तुम्हें
उसकी ये थी मतलब
She was his EA.
yeah, she was
So I
his
haven't seen
secretary
Wake
or
Up Said
something.
You've not seen
actually.
Wake
Wait,
Up
what?
Said?
No, I just
Interesting.
never felt
Very
like.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
Never saw it. I know Wake Up Said came at a time when people wanted to be photographers.
Yeah,
This
it just
coincided with a phase on Facebook where everybody had a photography page. You know, good old days. Nostalgia is one third of this show, guys.
And camera was important.
Yeah.
And lighting.
And light.
For the
Light,
photography.
camera.
So technically.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this was a phase where everybody had a like Shantanu Anam photography. That's one page when everybody would just take DSLR. And the difference between DSLR and the phones then was
Exactly.
exactly it
3GP.
was too much, right?
Yeah, 3GP.
Compared to now. तो then तो DSLR कहीं भी किसी नेशनल पार्क में गए 4 फोटो ले
Crow
लिए
देख के फोटो like I was
Crow,
one of those people.
crow.
Yeah,
Crow की
मैं
फोटो
लिया था मतलब
पैरो
मैं-
जो भी दिख गया स्ट्रीट
Crow.
are you a street photographer वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफर उसमें चल रहे हैं आपस में
मैं गया था लेके मैं जामा मस्जिद गया था हाँ आई हैड सीन दिल्ली 6 and all तो मैं भी एक कैमरा लेके एक बार ओल्ड दिल्ली ना आई वाज लाइक ओल्ड दिल्ली सिगरेट पीते पीते मैं ओल्ड दिल्ली देन मैं करीम्स पे खा के those cameras started to gather dust though ना because people eventually saw Wake Up Said and then they were like अब तो मूड हो गया ना मूड हट गया they weren't photographers but many years later thanks to Ayan Mukherjee documentarians came back into the fray
Yes.
with ये जवानी है दीवानी
तू इसके साथ मत घूम रे तू पागल हो जाएगा
Have you
तो
seen ये
कैमरा
जवानी है?
no
You you could tell from his
you
expression.
have a-
There are certain types of films I have avoided in the
I
last 10
think it's
15
safe to say
years.
he hates Ayan Mukherjee.
Please talk about Ye
War
Jawani.
2 का teaser नहीं देखा है. I
Can't
just asked
take,
him War 2 का.
can't take Ye Jawani. Every time सब उसका कुछ भी आता है ना गाना वाना हमने किया. रहने दो यार.
Okay, you know, I don't know what the politically correct way of saying it is, but I think थोड़ी चूतिया overrated picture है.
Yes,
I
of
don't
course.
think so.
Of
How's the
course.
think so, right?
Of course.
ये जवानी थोड़ी lame है.
Yeah.
Thanks.
हाँ.
Nice.
Let's not give it time. It's too bad to even give Ye Jawani Hai Diwani
Very
time.
nice. So
It's
this is
fucked
that
up.
kind of a podcast.
Yeah, it's too.
Whoa,
I tell
look
you
at
one.
these guys. They don't know cinema. They're talking about, oh, this is that podcast.
But I
जा
have
रहा है.
one.
साले
नीचे
पहले
comments
अपनी
में
film बना,
गालियाँ
फिर
बोल-
बोलना. Oh,
There's one
beautiful.
movie which covered multiple professions, guys, and that's Aitraz. Because there was lawyer, there was model,
Harasser.
harasser,
All
and there
in
was CEO. There was just CEO.
Who was CEO?
Priyanka Chopra was CEO, but she makes Akshay Kumar CEO because she's banged
Into him.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen Aitraz?
Yes.
This one you have.
Aitraz.
Aitraz. See, Aitraz was the female CEO as evil narrative.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly.
Aitraz, I remember
Yeah.
for Amrish Puri, I think with a hat. This is
The
Aitraz.
impotent guy who
I remember
PC cheats.
such characters
Yes.
from film.
What are
Yes.
the 5 characters Amrish Puri has played
Hmm.
or professions that Amrish Puri that you can think off the top of your head?
I don't know why it happened. The moment you said Amrish Puri, I thought of all his emotional characters.
Interesting. I thought
Like
he
the
was
first
evil.
thought that came to my mind was the Ghatak father. That makes me cry every
He's a
time.
dog walker in it. No, he's the dog that gets walked.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the-
too emotional.
काशी से
भाई.
आते हैं.
It's too emotional, that film, that Ghatak film, which
कुत्ता
on the
खांसी होती है.
surface is very like, oh, Sunny Deol macho film
Aggro,
होगा.
हाँ.
But the film has Amrish Puri as a retired, not a retired, like a Swatantrata Senani, right? So he carries a Tamarpatra, which is like the proof of him being a freedom fighter. And he carries that and he goes to these hospitals, वहाँ उसको appointment नहीं मिल रहा है, all of that. And he's sick, right? Full film he's sick. And then
That again, na? That again.
It's brilliant. Bro, this is Rajkumar Santoshi. It's one of his best films.
one
I
of
have
his
to.
best
his
films.
film.
And then Sunny Deol goes to get appointment, like, and he keeps saying, उनको बोलो कि मैं स्वतंत्रता सेनानी हूँ भाई, मुझे कैसे नहीं? How is this country treating me like this? This very Western pop culture, how they use be it veterans in today's world, kind of a trope.
PTSD.
But so well done. It's like, oh, and then Danny does that kutta thing too.
They should re-release though.
Danny was Baiji, na? His character's name was Baiji, and every time he comes on screen, he says आग, पानी और Baiji. 3 चीजें तुम्हें मार देती हैं.
But yeah, I don't know why I thought Amrish Puri first thing.
Amrish Puri, so careers depicted by Amrish Puri,
Career.
freedom fighter.
Freedom
Freedom
fighter.
fighter.
Freedom fighter.
If that's a career.
A
Sorry, guys.
mom and pop, like green grocer in DDLJ.
Sure, grocery
Yeah,
store
grocery
owner
store.
with an NRI
In and out,
angle
in and
all
out.
of that.
7-Eleven owner.
7-Eleven, in and out 7-Eleven.
Perpetrator of stereotypes.
Yeah.
He's played politician in Nayak.
Politician.
Chief Minister tha, straight.
Chief Minister in Nayak.
Very convincing.
But only for 364 days of the year.
Oh. Leap year में.
एक दिन अनिल ले गया.
Sorry.
No, but has he never gone to? He's never been to office. You never see
not
Amrish
very-
Puri like in a briefcase, like I'm at work, darling.
He's too larger than life. I can't imagine him like
think
that.
so.
That voice doesn't belong to a
He's
corporate office.
Indiana Jones, Amrish Puri.
Yeah, man,
What are you
that, like,
talking
no.
about?
You think he
can't go
never
to
had a
work.
9 to 5 like regular
No,
job?
that
in his
voice
role?
doesn't belong to an office.
Even in his earlier career, I was thinking something like, say, the Om Puri classic. Govind Nilani's best film,
Arth Satya.
Ardh Satya.
Arth Satya. हाँ. वही हाँ.
Ardh Satya mein also Amrish Puri is just his father. Like he just comes from Gaon and he's just there. You are right. I can't visualize Amrish Puri.
NRI businessman. We can
NRI businessman.
multiple
CEO,
films. NRI businessman coming rooted. NRI.
Rooted. India. It's Pardesh.
Pardesh.
thing, yeah.
He wants.
He's
And he has one sister who's a bitch always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hates
yeah,
the
yeah.
poor, really hates Indians also.
And hates Mahima Chaudhary.
Yeah.
That's
Hates fucking Mahima Chaudhary.
3 things she
hates-
cannot stand.
Aishwarya Rai also she hates. Huh?
Aishwarya Rai also she hates,
Manav
yeah.
C. She's a
Manav C.
hashtag Manav C breaker.
Yeah.
I'm
Abhi
trying to
kam
think
gira
between like fully moving away from this, but I'm trying to think about the superstars and what character, like what careers have they portrayed. The only person I can think of is Shah Rukh Khan. I can't think of it.
NASA, project manager, best
And
character.
journalist.
Variety of characters.
Journalist,
Dil se,
Journalist.
radio jockey.
exactly.
Salman
Salman Khan doesn't have careers.
Very quickly graduated from radio in Dil Se to TV in Fir Bhi Dil
Fir Bhi Dil Hai
in
Hindustani.
2 years.
number one anchor.
Oh,
very
Yeah, yeah,
nicely.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
KTV and all of that he did.
Bomb
Shahrukh has
detonators.
done a lot.
Yeah.
Shahrukh you can visualize as office goer like
जामिया graduate लगता है वो।
100%,
राजू बन गया
100%.
gentleman.
Oof. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
वो
person.
MCRC है ना, वो
Yeah.
मास कॉम करके आया है, तो make him radio jockey, this, that, he'll
Yeah.
do
कुछ
all.
कुछ होता है also he's going to work.
He's
You
going
don't
to
know
work.
क्या करने जा रहा है but
It's a
he's very
rare film in
believable.
which
It's
someone's
about
going to office. Very true. Yeah,
So
yeah.
what is it time?
We don't know, but he goes
You
to
never
office.
show but वो टाई वाई पहन के मस्त
पैंट नहीं
तैयार हो
पहनता
रहा है।
लेकिन एक दिन
हाँ एक दिन
एक
पैंट
दिन।
नहीं पहनता।
एक दिन बिना पैंट के
और
चला
माँ और
daughter has
बेटी
to
के सामने
remind
कपड़े बदल रहे थोड़ा.
you have made this unnecessarily perverted now.
Private Detective in
Best
NASA,
movie ever.
very nice, one of his best movies ever.
That was one of
Hockey
the films
coach,
that formed my
NASA
aspiration
scientist.
also.
He has done.
He's
Shahrukh
done,
has
he's
covered the length and breadth of employment.
Yeah.
This
What was he in Paheli? Was he a trader?
I think.
Yeah, he was a trader. Plus ghost. Yeah.
Ghost was... Ghost, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. He was a
Ghost.
trader. He was a trader, which is why he left home. He was trading, so he left home for a really long
Has
time.
he been a cop?
Yes, one to Gafur.
Oh, I just
Was
saw
that
it.
cop or was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
IB type thing?
No,
No,
he
no,
was
he
a
was
cop.
cop.
He was a cop.
Him and Jackie.
Jack-
Jackie dies.
But he's always in
Javed
like
Bhai.
white shirt and all, na? With
No, but he's
suspenders.
But
cop
that's
only.
what cops in Bollywood. That's the hot cop.
Juhi is also a cop in that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We've
Undercover.
ruined it now.
She's
for anyone
undercover.
who watches.
Oh shit, sorry guys. One to Gafur spoiler after
One to
24 years. One to Gafur, 124.
And Raj Zutri is the killer in case.
Yes,
Shit.
yes,
अगर और भी
yes,
कुछ बता ही
yes,
नहीं तो
yes.
Raj Zutri is the bad man. No, so Shahrukh, you're saying, is a gamut of.
Shahrukh, it's been more than 30 years.
Yeah.
He's done a bunch
She was
of-
saying भाई ने कोई characters नहीं play.
भाई ने कोई
Jobs.
career, हाँ job नहीं है भाई का
Characters
कभी.
play नहीं किया है, still
Character
another
also.
जॉब्स कम करते हैं भाई वो या पुलिस वाले बन जाते हैं या
I
फिर
saw
Bodyguard.
Sikandar today on the flight.
व्हाट डज ही डू इन सिकंदर
He's a Sikandar. He's a king. He's a Sikandar.
He's Sikandar.
अच्छा अच्छा.
He is Sikandar. He owns 25% of the gold reserve of India.
ओह
Oh.
हाँ, तो वो he sees धारावी में real estate project एक हो रहा है SRA का और उसकी वजह से the poor are suffering. So he buys धारावी from whoever the Adani is. He's like मैं pay him 2x. And he buys it and he's like अब ये तुम्हारा है खुशी खुशी रहो यहाँ पे. Believe
Love
in
the
yourself.
accent.
fair
Also, it's
Career
interesting that we
counseling.
haven't spoken about even one woman so far. When we think career,
Yeah,
we
just
think
Akanksha,
men.
just shut up. मैं क्या कह रहा बार
We haven't
चित्रांगदा सिंह की मूवीज के नाम ले रही है इनकार एंड God knows all these subtle agenda you're pushing. Come on, okay? But okay, we'll go to a woman superstar.
Think about a
Nayanthara.
female actress
female actress with
with a
gamut
career.
of
What
jobs.
career has she portrayed and what's
Deepika
it
was
aspirational?
fantastic as a job person in Piku. I think that was very good portrayal of somebody just at her job, which was
Also an
closest to
ad
like
job.
हाँ fully like very relatable कि सुबह उठ रहे घर में कुछ चल रहा है but office
सही,
में जाना है.
सही, सही.
It wasn't like one of those 90s की oh my I have a job. It was very like पापा को problem है job में घर से note आ रहा है.
मैं
all of
छुट्टी
that.
ली है. She goes on छुट्टी
ली है.
legit. She says.
हाँ so it was I think very good.
Dimple Kapadia Dil
portrayal.
Chahta Hai also had scenes where she was being architect.
But being a career woman really took a toll on her liver. She had to. She
What
had
else? What else? Deepika also in
संभालने में.
Tamasha, however it was
Of
shown,
course,
but
corporate
it was
job.
at least a corporate
Yeah, yeah,
job.
yeah,
They
yeah,
tried
yeah, yeah.
कि वो उतर रही है अपना
What is she
meeting
doing in
कर रही
Tamasha?
है. She
She's
has
there.
one.
She's some job.
Proper
Because she
job.
comes to Delhi for a job only.
Job meeting करती
Yeah,
है
yeah,
flight
yeah,
नहीं
yeah.
करती है कुछ
There are
She's
scenes of
at
her
it.
also in office, and she's talking to Ranbir Kapoor. There are scenes of her being in office. Very few films have scenes
So
like that.
Deepika is one of the
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
She had a good job in Love Aajkal.
Love आजकल she had a
She's
job.
an art
Oh,
historian,
fresco.
restoration करती है.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Correct.
Fresco,
हुमायूं
fresco.
टोम पे छोटे से ब्रश के साथ
Correct,
कुछ
correct,
ऐसा.
correct, correct.
That's what I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Little lamp.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm preserving हुमायूं
But
टोम.
she's played roles, huh? Like that.
वो रोल वगैरह दीपिका ने
Cop
किए
भी
in
बनी
this-
है.
हाँ, of course.
Let's forget that.
Shakti Shetty.
Let's forget that. Yeah.
Have you not?
Let's not taint.
वो ट्रेलर के बाद I was like,
You saw the film?
ट्रेलर के बाद I couldn't.
I saw.
Although you know I love brainless whatever masala film.
I saw the film. It's one of my probably the worst film experience I've had in the theater.
You saw it in the theater?
हाँ,
Oh.
it's the
So
okay,
yeah.
very interesting.
Deepika, I would say, has done it. Kareena also has had a long, but I don't see her as a.
Kareena was a very good doctor, I have to say.
In that क्यों?
उड़ता पंच.
उड़ता पंजा.
Shut up. She went.
क्यों हो गया ना?
No.
क्यों?
क्यों dot
क्यों
dot
की?
dot? क्यों की
क्यों
dot dot dot?
की? हाँ. There she was.
उसका tagline was उसका tagline इतना प्यार तुमको
No,
करते
that's
हैं
just the song. That's just the song.
But this is One Flew Over
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, let's show.
So, yeah, but Kareena has had like even 3 Idiots. She was medical type preparing for something like no.
She's got a doctor energy. She's got a
She's
doctor.
got one doctor energy.
हाँ, उड़ता she's a doctor. This she's a doctor.
Etraj, I'm going to call back onto
we are going
Etraj.
back.
She's a lawyer. For her husband only.
That one case. She studies fully रात भर पढ़ के and she goes and.
How does she defend her husband in that, saying that he
She
didn't?
slut shames the fuck out of PC. She basically says that you got an abortion, hence you couldn't have been harassed. That's the legal argument that she
Oh,
poses.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And no, I remember, I don't know why I remember there's one more thing of, they're having a conversation about who assaulted whom.
By being on top bottom.
Huh. And she says, Kareena says, what does she say about the scratch mark?
Yeah. She says अगर औरत पीछे से scratch मारे मतलब it's sexual. आगे से मारे तो you're defending yourself. These are great legal arguments.
This
that
is,
she's
yeah,
made.
it worked for
Yeah.
Akshay.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on from Akshay
What
and
other
harassment.
careers you can think of? One career I was very as a kid, like growing up. You know, I think at some point you said what are the careers that inspired you?
Inspired, yeah.
And I was inspired by these army characters
of
because I think at a human level you're like ये तो मैं कभी नहीं कर पाऊंगा ना.
Correct.
So that becomes your biggest fantasy types,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you're like journalist तो शायद मैं बन सकता हूँ,
Yeah.
तो शायद बन सकता हूँ, admin बन सकता हूँ. Army में तो कभी नहीं जाऊंगा. And then growing up there was this series of like from JP Datta's Border,
Yeah,
followed
yeah.
by LOC Kargil, then Laksh.
Laksh.
Laksh was that thing where you're like, अगर मैं actually मेहनत करूँ,
So you could.
तो मैं शायद Laksh.
I want
उसका
to-
गाना तो मैं आज तक सुनती
Major
हूँ.
Ram, man.
And then Major Ram.
I want to be Major Ram.
One of the
That's
coolest
my.
army portrayal.
What a good guy.
Yeah.
तो
what a
वो एक
good
Also,
guy.
what a
एक मेरा
great
face
like
था.
mission to be on. You go to college.
Yeah.
It's a nice mission
College,
to
it's
be on.
everything. It's
Yeah,
like
Darjeeling
21
and
Jump
all.
Street, but with
Yeah.
Aman ki Asha.
Yeah.
It's the most
Project Mila.
Project Mila.
Love my own.
So yeah, we can close careers. I
Okay.
think we can go to some closing point on careers we can find.
Oh.
So overall, if you had to say your best portrayal of a career and worst, and then you go, and then I'll also go. That way I have the
Oh,
most
this
time
is
to
nice.
think.
This is very nice question.
Thanks. मेरे पास
Because
बहुत-
also the challenge is that we have to think of like mainstream Bollywood, right? Because if you go
हाँ,
art
don't
house
go
and
too
all
niche.
the realistic तो हो ही जाएगा ना.
Newton and all.
हाँ, you can't be like
Don't do
वो
Kannu
that.
Behl.
हाँ, कि ऐसा
Never.
proper mainstream commercial film में
Yeah.
good portrayal.
Lapata is the line. You don't.
Yeah,
Lapata and above.
Yeah, and gangster is not allowed as a
I was
career.
just
So I can't
thinking,
say
Vastav
Satya
and
had a
Vastav.
great portrayal and Vastav.
Imran Hashmi as Dawood or whatever. Very
Legit,
well
my
done.
mind went to gangster directly.
Okay.
You have one.
You
I
have?
have one.
Okay.
I have one. Little over the top performance, but I think it was solid. What is that Jessica Lal murder case? No one killed Jessica. I feel like Rani Mukherjee as a journalist was fun to watch. Like she's a little bit like
She's potty mouth.
Like she's a little bit like the pagal.
Is she a potty mouth? There's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
teaser I remember
Yeah,
of her
yeah.
abusing.
Yeah.
Rani Mukherjee as journalist in Jessica. Okay.
But
That's
that
the
she's
best.
playing.
That's the best. So
I'm
that's
One of the
thinking.
best. अभी उसमें तू करेगा तो फिर
अभी pressure
लंबा
है
debate
अभी.
होगा.
Yeah, yeah.
हाँ करेक्ट आप क्वेश्चन नहीं कर रहे ये बेस्ट है तुम्हारा
वरना तो मैं मतलब वास्तव ही बोलती हूँ बड़ा तो मैं
वास्तव में कौन वो
संजय दत्त बहुत कन्विंसिंग लगता है
I thought you-
Page 3 is that below लापता or above लापता
page 3
Page 3
who but
कोंकणा सेन शर्मा
I thought Harsh Chaya or one of the designers was-
So your best is Rani, worst is? Oh, thinking. We are also thinking.
I thought Vastav you would have said Ded Futia was a good pav bhaji stall guy.
good one
You remember Ded Futia?
Of course.
He's the inciting
He's
incident.
the- yeah,
Inciting
that's how
incident.
Guys, I
He
will change
changes.
my answer. I will change my answer.
What is it?
And this is going to go very deep. Tabu as a prostitute in Chandni Bar, I think, was very good.
You thought,
That's a career.
oh, then I have a best. If this is what
Yes.
or Ranveer Shori as a smacky in what is it, Traffic Signal, which is that movie where he plays a smack addict.
Yeah,
जो जाके वो 200 रुपए
200
मांग
रुपए वो फॉर्मल कपड़े पहन
बहुत
के-
अच्छी एक्टिंग की थी. Then he
भाई
came-
how is that a career?
हाँ, this line is a career. only.
Smacky is not a career.
Oh, as a beggar part is very convincing.
Beggar,
So that's
हाँ.
a very different kind of.
हाँ, I वो महबूब स्टूडियो के बाहर होते
That
हैं.
scarred me for life. You know, there are some characters that scar you for life. Ranveer, sorry if you're watching this part
Yeah.
of him as a beggar, just completely till date in Bombay when I'm in town टाउन एरिया एंड आई एम लीविंग और कोई आके बोलते हैं एक्सक्यूज मी भाई मेरा वो टैक्सी
मैं
हट जा
interview-
नहीं मुझे पता है मैं रणवीर शौरी को देखा
checking his veins. Like ये बड़े बाहर दिख रहे थे. We told him also.
We
Remember?
told him
We told him. We told him and he was not very happy.
anyway
हाँ.
हाँ best and worst we have to
काफी
say
हाँ.
really can't think but I'll go with cop role which I think was very close to this thing in our lifetime which is Manoj Bajpayee in Shool
Best.
best
हाँ yeah best हाँ okay I thought worst.
No,
मैं डर
best.
गया.
Best. Very authentic film. Again, Anurag Kashyap, E. Nivas, Ramgopal Verma. Fantastic. Very rooted. Very. You see his angst through the movie. Obviously, the climax is not realistic because no spoiler.
Beautiful.
But I really find it the whole setting very authentic and just like bhai, every scene I feel for it.
Yeah.
It's very especially with the way the cops are portrayed.
Yeah,
Otherwise, when you're
exactly.
like bhai aay or
Yeah.
and Shool was sort of inspired from Arth Satya, but that came before I was born. So, but Shool in my lifetime I saw very impressed.
Even KK Menon in Black Friday.
Very nice.
Very empathetic portrayal of a cop having to do what he has to do. Very few movies do it like that.
So we'll do worst fast.
Worst,
Yeah.
fastly.
Worst.
Okay, again, top of my mind, worst portrayal will be Shantanu's favorite actor, sorry, was Imran Hashmi. Imran Hashmi in Azhar as
Oh my god! I was going to give a other reference, but mine wasn't Imran.
Yours was Sangeeta Midlani, Nargis Thakre.
Kunal Roy Kapoor as a Reddy lawyer called Reddy,
man.
who did the worst accent. Mai, तुम्हारा lawyer है ये and all he did.
So I don't know, top of my mind, I think that
Azhar.
movie, just, I don't know, I'm sure after this shoot we'll have 100 other answers
Yeah,
in our
it'll
brain.
haunt us.
But-
at
But
night.
again, top of my mind because I saw it recently with a couple of my friends and I can't stop thinking about it.
Azhar.
Portrayal of a sports person and of course the one and only Mohammad Azharuddin.
Worst. Okay.
Ah,
Shah Rukh as scientist in Ravan.
Okay, thank God.
It
My
hurts
heart
me.
skipped a beat right
It
now.
hurts me. Yeah, I love him. But Shah Rukh, that South Indian scene where he eats dahi with noodle, it hurt me as a South Indian. It kind of like just like fuck, you're better than this, Shah Rukh. Do better.
Fair.
The hair was also not hairing. There's also Govinda and Albela. Have you all seen Albela?
Of course.
Yeah.
How can I not
He's
see
a
it?
tour guide who sexually harasses Aishwarya Rai multiple times as a tour guide. Matlab, he's, yeah.
तो
You've
अच्छा
seen
portrayal है ना फिर. He has a toy that squirts out water from a commode in that film. That I had
Oh, I
that
got
toy.
confused between Albela and the other one, which is
Kumara.
हाँ कुंवारा है उर्मिला नो
Urmila and
Ash
Nagma.
and Jackie Shroff
so
and...
कुंवारा I've seen Albela
अच्छा,
Albela
also
trailer I
classic.
remember
हाँ, मैं
Albela
Albela. Yeah.
Aishwarya-
That I would say.
It was Urmila, right?
No, it was Ash.
Aishwarya and Albela Urmila and Kumara
Correct.
Speaking of Aishwarya Rai, who was Miss World,
crazy
we move to our next topic of discussion. Please tell us in comments what you want us to hear and
Like, share,
हाँ
subscribe.
वो वाला कर देना please. Thank you.
Thank you.